NewGenGamers.com.
Now, something I want to say about the game itself here is that Mega Man was originally a 2D series, and they attempted to bring it into 3D, and as you've seen through the video, that has taken a little bit of difficulty for them to do. They attempted it, and this became one of their... it became a cult hit, but people really didn't take to it like they did the rest of the series.
Yeah, it's just not as fluid as the side scrollers. You know, that was, I think what was fun was you could just you ran along, you jumped along and flew. And this you got to adjust your camera and try and keep up with where you are in the little tunnels but you know, a good first attempt at that, I guess. But I think it really hurt the Mega Man series.
Yeah, and what ended up happening was they released Mega Man X4 for it the next year. So they did go back to the side-scrolling roots.
And we need to check out the Chinese Mega Man sometime. Try and get a hold of that. There was a Chinese Mega Man that never came out anywhere else.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Only a couple copies exist because a guy accidentally got it and it was accidentally shipped to a game store, and he was like, "What the hell is this?" And it was the Chinese Mega Man that we never got.
Oh wow! So he bought it up.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
kept
pretty exciting.
Yeah, you'll only hear that at newgengamers.com because I randomly found it on the internet.
Yeah, we've searched the depths of the internet for this information.
We looked this crap up because we find it interesting.
And we want you to know.
I think that's worth knowing because, I mean, Mega Man is a cult series, as you mentioned, and probably not a lot of fans know about that.
No, so if you get a chance to find some way to play that, I mean, you're probably not going to find a hard copy anywhere because they don't really exist, but if you can find them somewhere on the depths of the internet, give it a try.
Or go to China and see if you can get one.
Whichever is more financially viable.
I can't remember what it was for. I'm almost thinking it was for like Windows or something. It was really weird.
Huh.
And it was from Capcom. It was like very, very bizarre.
So it was an official game.
Yeah, it was an official game, but just very odd. Huh. I don't know why they made a China-only Mega Man. And it was like shortly after this time, like it was kind of a pseudo, I think it had like an isometric kind of 2D/3D type gameplay. So it was kind of like a mesh between 2D and 3D. Okay.
Hello everybody, welcome to another New Gen Gamers Console Wars of the Past, found at newgengamers.com. And this is a game that was one of the most popular ones on the PlayStation. This was Tomb Raider. It was one of the early hits for the PlayStation. And we'll show you a little bit of the original Tomb Raider.
This is from Core Design and published by Eidos, who really put themselves on the map with this title. And things didn't work out down the road so much for them, but this is a gem, and you know, anyone who's played it still remembers this great game.
Here's one of those infamous FMV cutscenes we hear about.
Yeah, we really haven't got to see a whole lot of the cutscenes here because we've been trying to show gameplay. So here's a look at the awesome power of the PlayStation.
As you can see, they really went out and did the textures for it. As you can see, the rocks look semi-realistic.
Yeah, her clothing has some nice textures on it.
She looks kind of cartoony, but hey.
She has big breasts, so I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah, that was the big thing about this game, is you didn't see a female heroine.
This was the first time that we got big breasts in video gaming and could not have to feel too dirty about it because she was raiding tombs, you know? She was badass, you know? We didn't have to feel like we were just looking at her hot butt while she was running along.
That said, my friends knew of a code that you could see her naked. She said that she was sculpted.
The code does not exist.
Nude Raider?
More or less. He was fairly excited about it. I was like, you know, it's just pixelation. Why not just go out and buy something that's more designed for that.
Like Cinemax movie or some Vivid or something like that.
You know, some Debbie Does Dallas. I don't know.
Yeah, something of that realm.
But here it is. Some
Speaking of those,
some people are into that, and this brought that to the table.
and we see another one of these wonderful loading screens.
And what's that is really creepy because this is becoming a subgenre of porn now. I mean, it really is.
Okay, we are in the tomb. And
We're delving into the gutter here as we march on through the PlayStation.
apparently, we do have weapons. It looks like
Yeah, it almost makes you wish that this was the Xbox, so we could, you know, make better jokes.
Yeah.
Yes, we wouldn't get to see more of that for a while, but the roots were there. Now, this is Tomb Raider. It's a great game, a great adventure game. You travel along and raid the tombs, but it's very clever. One thing that I had a problem with this game, is it's hard to tell where you need to go sometimes. And this actually comes down to something that the PlayStation couldn't do that the N64 could do, called Z-buffering, where it would kind of layer the image and make it look true 3D rather than just a flat image. Now you'll notice in Tomb Raider here, a lot of these tunnels look like flat images, and it's hard to tell sometimes where there's depth. And come on, Ray. Forward.
Maybe you're not supposed to actually go in there.
Oh.
Oh wow!
But
that was definitely intuitive there.
Yeah, and the controls are a little.
That's one thing with this game. The controls are spotty. It kind of feels like she's floating sometimes.
I sidestepped the
the sidestepping, the very hard controls, and that's one thing that it was a 3D.
You might want to consider. Yeah, there you go.
It was a 3D game, but before a lot of games got good with using an analog stick and manipulating a character more in 3D, you kind of got the stiffness. Like stop and just move like left, forward, back, right. This is how you move. You know, if you want to line up on that enemy, you got to make all these weird jumps, and it was tough. It wasn't fluid, but you know the game's fun. And at the time, I mean, it
controls like a tank.
Yeah, no one had really gotten that down really well yet. I mean, again, Nintendo had done some stuff with the analog stick that was kind of setting the bar for how to manipulate a character in 3D. And I don't know what else you want to say about this game.
I don't know. That's pretty much it for Tomb Raider. It was just a kind of a well-known game,
and many sequels would follow. They definitely cashed in on Lara Croft, and that's something interesting where this is one of the earlier human-like characters that we saw really become popularized during the PlayStation era.
Okay, that's enough.
And yeah, Ray obviously isn't the greatest Tomb Raider player in the world, but you see Tomb Raider and check it out.
What makes you sweat? Is it passion? Or could it just be heat? What about not knowing if your very next breath will be your last? What about all three? Tomb Raider from IDOS Interactive.
NewGenGamers.com